When a loved one passes on, there are so many important steps family members have to take. Sometimes that means closing an estate. It's in your best interest to have a professional real estate agent to guide you through the process, and that's why Linda Kraft is here with us to share a few helpful steps. So nice to see you, Linda.
Thank you.
All right, so what is step one in an estate?
Step one is to find out, do you have a will or do you not? And hopefully you do, because everyone needs a will. Without a will, it's going to take a lot longer and it's going to cost a lot more money.
Okay. When there is a surviving spouse, do you need a will still?
Well, you know, that's good news. You still need a will.
Okay.
It'd be a great thing. But you're not going to lose the roof over your house, because in North Carolina, we're a marital interest state, which means that when your spouse dies, immediately that home goes to you. However, sometimes you can't afford the home on your own, or you can't keep the home up for very long by yourself. And so then you face that really hard decision of selling the home. And that's usually where I get involved, because the children need help with mom and dad or grandma and grandpa, and just getting everything prepared and moving on top of all the change. It's really a very delicate time in everyone's life.
Yes, it stressed me out just thinking about that idea. Okay, what are some things that we need to know when the home is passed on to children or other family members?
Well, now we're going to ask another question. Is there equity in the home or is there not? Because it may be that the parents had a reverse mortgage, or they refinanced several times and took money out, or had an equity line. So we want to find out if there's equity. And if there is, then we need to get them all together and talk about selling. Do we sell the property as is? If we put a little bit of money into it, could they actually end up netting more? And then how long is it going to take? What are they going to have to spend? And they also have to keep in mind that when they inherit that home, it's a beautiful gift. Someone really thought a lot of you to give you their home. But if there's a mortgage, they still have to keep those mortgage payments current. So cash flow can sometimes be a real issue then with a family, and that dictates whether we move real fast or we move slow.
Whew, okay, what do the heirs need to know if the mortgage payoff is higher than the home value?
Yes, well, and sometimes that happens. And so the great news is they can just give that house right back to the bank, and they won't suffer any kind of credit consequences for doing so. But they may want to look at their other options and see if a short sale may actually net them some money. Some of the investors are paying incentives to do short sales, because these banks don't really want to own property. So we want to investigate everything.
Okay, what about when there's multiple heirs? I would imagine that's going to make the situation more complicated.
It really does, because most of the time people are living all over the country. You know, nobody's at home anymore. And so you're working with time zones, you're working with different stages of grief, different beliefs in how a property should be handled. And I have found that if you communicate well and you communicate with everyone at the same time, you can really expedite everything. So we use a conference call. We literally set up a time when everybody, no matter where they're at, can get on the call together, and we can start to prepare them for the things they need to think of in the process, and how to end up ultimately giving the best results.
Yeah, any other tips you can share, because this is really important stuff. Even during the holidays, families have to deal with this.
Yeah, unfortunately they do. Well, good news. Good news is you don't have to have a North Carolina seller disclosure form, which is 30-something questions and drives everybody crazy. The other thing is, if you are, and this is a big surprise for a lot of people, let's say there's 4 siblings that inherit the property, and they're all 4 married. Well, whenever you're going to sell that property, everybody has to sign, even the spouses. And so if you have a spouse that travels out of the country, or maybe you're going through a divorce and you've got an uncooperative spouse, it can just stop everything. So we come right back to the beginning. It's really important to get everybody in a conference call and on the same page, and knowing what the goal is and how we're going to get there, so that a lot of the stress can be removed. It's already a very, very hard time.
It is. All right, Linda, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If in every profession, experience is what makes the difference in your results. When you need to sell a home you've inherited, call Linda Kraft and Team Realtors, or learn more now. Visit lindakraft.com/estate and share the link with your friends too.